And I guess you could record, Karen. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag of our country. If everyone will please rise. I pledge allegiance to the
It's
flag
the
of the
flag
United
of the
States of
United
America
States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
for which it
for which
stands,
it
one
stands,
nation,
one
under
nation,
God, indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty and
liberty and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody. I hope everyone stays well. We have in attendance Shandi and Amanda and Cecilia and Lucinda and myself, Matthew. And Alice will not be joining us tonight. She's under the weather. And hopefully Alfima will join us very soon. The agenda for tonight is somewhat abbreviated, and it's focused on the new business, the security cameras and door access and panic buttons and intercom proposals. So Karen, if I could turn it over to you at this time.
Sure. I'll just give you a briefing, and if you want more detail, let me know. We received a New York State construction grant a while ago, which included all of these items and also the replacement and extension of our sidewalk towards the Moose Lodge side of our building. We've had numerous delays for this part of the project, and we're getting towards the end of the grant period. So we need to fulfill this work. Otherwise, we have to forego the grant. This part of the project includes the removal and upgrade of 16 security cameras. We have 16 very old cameras and 16 newer cameras. The newer cameras are fine, they're going to stay. The older cameras need to be replaced. In addition, we're replacing the camera controller system, which is what controls all the cameras and allows us to play back and record. I'd like to replace it with a system that can accommodate additional cameras in the future. We are also replacing the receiver for the panic button system that we currently have in the library. It has not been working, and so that needs to be replaced. We're also installing an access system on the employee entrance of the door, which is at the back of the building, that gray door that I sometimes let you in through when we're closed to the public. The employee access system we received proposals for key fobs or cards. We prefer key fobs that will open a magnetic lock on the door so that we can not hand out physical, metal keys to everybody that sometimes don't get returned. The key fobs or the cards can be programmed and deprogrammed. So if somebody leaves without leaves employment and takes their card or key fob with them, we can deactivate it. Also going onto that door would be an intercom system, which would allow us to hear somebody ringing the bell and actually see them if they are outside of that door and needing to get into the building. We can program it to allow us to release the door as well from inside of the building. We may or may not choose to do that for, depending on who it is, but we do have that capability. And also, we are installing, we're going to try to install an auto assist on that door. That employee door is very, very heavy and hard to manage for especially we've had folks who have hand injuries. It's very difficult to get that door open. So the auto assist will kick in when you start to open the door, and it will automatically open the door for you. In addition to all that, it was recommended that we also upgrade our intrusion system, which is our burglar system, which if we go with the same company, and I'm recommending that we do, ties the systems in together. So the reporting that we would get would be all from one system. So for the employee door, right now with our current intrusion system, we can see who unlocked or who disarmed the building at what time based on a code that they punch in a keypad. This will integrate all of the reporting, so you can see who has gone in and out of the building at what times and so forth. We looked at we tried to get lots of more proposals than we have. Molly has been reaching out to many companies over the course of since we were able to get back into the building when the pandemic started to allow us to get back into the building. 3 companies finally followed through and responded to our requests for proposal. One company, Alarm Specialists, is a company who we already use for our security camera maintenance and our intrusion system. I'm recommending that we go with them for the majority of the systems. They came in the lowest, and we've had good experience with them. And then the only company who we could find so far who does the auto assist system for the door is Stanley, and I'm recommending that we go with them. So each of these proposals is for different pieces of everything that I've described to you. I put together the comparison sheet for you so that you could see how everything broke down. I also included the proposals in the packet. I hope it wasn't too much. I just wanted you to be able to see the details if you wanted to see the details. The grant information is at the back of the analysis sheets that I gave you. It's a 75-25 grant, so we get 75% of the grant money. We match it 25%. That's the way we planned it out. There is still a little money that I'm not spending as part of the grant right now, because when we originally quoted for the panic button system, it was quoted at $5,000. It was replacing all of the panic buttons. We're going to see if we can get away with the current buttons and a new receiver. If that works, I'm going to try to use the leftover money for additional cameras. Otherwise, we'll look at the complete panic button system. Does that make sense?
It does. It does to me. I was curious if I'm reading the resolutions correctly, that the total is everything in is 15,086, or that's just resolution 82, which is the first of the three?
No, resolution 82 includes three amounts: 15,086.20 for the security cameras,
Okay.
$8,942.50 for the intercom system, $2,870 for the access control system, and the panic button system is $976.35. I broke it down for you into the different components, but
Okay.
all of those amounts are with the one company.
Okay. And all three resolutions are totaling up, what, about 40,000?
Yeah, I have the amount for you in the back here. Let's see. Yeah, the total of what you see in front of you, minus additional key fobs. I included that in my total on my paper over here, but it's not in the resolution because it's minor. It's $35,877.72 minus the $695 for the key fobs.
Okay. And there was a reference to Wi-Fi. Because I don't know a lot about security systems, basically nothing, I was wondering if in all this bidding and all the education that you received, are all of these systems hardwired, or are there some that are wireless that use Wi-Fi?
Some are hard. Most of them, like the burglar intrusion system, is hardwired within our building. The security system, or I'm sorry, the security camera system is all hardwired. The employee access system is hardwired, though there is a Wi-Fi component whereby we can log into the system through our secure staff Wi-Fi. Panic button system does go over the Wi-Fi, but it's the internal Wi-Fi. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't go over the Wi-Fi. It's a radio transmission with a receiver. And then it goes out to our alarm panel.
And where are the monitors located to view what's going on, that you can see what's going on with the cameras?
For the security cameras themselves, we are not going to put dedicated monitors in the building, because they will be accessible from a staff computer. So if you're given access to the camera system, you can log on to it from your staff computer. There's no real need for a physical monitor. And then for the employee entrance system with the intercom, the intercom and the buzzer, we can have, we are going to have one dedicated station, I guess you could call it, most likely in the Circ and Tech area of the building. But the Wi-Fi option for that allows, again, authorized staff to access that system from their computer.
So you would have any or all access that you, or even Molly for that matter, would need to from where you're working.
Molly and
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, it's much better than the current system of monitors in the book drop closet. Partly it's more private. If we need to review something with the police, they can be in an office with us instead of standing in a an open area where staff are coming and going and the public can see. It's a much better system.
Mhm. And to the extent that I don't want it to sound like an intrusion, or an exaggeration, but you don't have to confer with the union about any of this. There's no question about privacy or.
No, we're careful about pointing the cameras towards public areas of the building. So, where we have the service desks, the cameras are always looking out so that we're looking at, we're never monitoring a staff member's computer or anything like that from a camera.
And for the external like entry and exit, it actually provides an additional level of security. If somebody's arriving or leaving alone and something happens, we're able to see what happened. And that's a good thing.
Mhm. Are we obligated to post notices throughout the building that people are being monitored for security purposes?
We're not obligated to, but we absolutely could.
And we do have that in some areas of the building,
some,
not
yeah.
all areas, but some.
Because I think if we're expanding the system, correct me if I'm wrong, I just think that it creates more security if people realize that it's there.
Yes. Well, we had a recent problem with potential theft, probable theft of music CDs. And so we put signs up in that area. I mean, there is a camera in that area too. It wasn't pointing in the right direction for what we think was going on, but just the signage is a deterrent in many cases.
Yeah, and it helped with a vandalism problem we had in a hallway. There was vandalism in the restrooms, and while the cameras weren't in the restrooms, the camera in the hallway is recording, any activity in the hallway and who's coming and going. And when we put up a sign reminding people there's a camera there, the vandalism stopped.
Oh.
I have two questions. One, is this fairly standard procedure for libraries to have all of this security? And the second one is it going to stand out and where we are in Ossining as we have more security than anybody else? Or is this the kind of security that is in downtown Ossining?
I can't speak for downtown Ossining, but I can say as far as public library goes, this is pretty standard security. And this, it's not anything over the top as far as what other libraries have.
Thank you.
So thank you for giving us the simple grid to do comparisons and eyeball them. The one thing that I circled was alarm specialists that we have a satisfactory relationship with had included in their detail, permit fees are not covered. Is that something that would apply here?
No.
Okay.
We don't need permits for this.
How long would the work take?
I'm sorry. There were two questions at the same time.
I was just asking how long the work would take once it starts.
Depends on which part of the project. The camera system, when I spoke to alarm specialist, she said for the whole project, probably about 6 to 8 weeks, including which includes time to order the equipment. Some of the projects, like the employee access door, are a shorter period of time. I think from what I recall, it was maybe 3 to 4 days, something like that. I did note this on the grid. The auto assist system requires an electrical connection, which is not part of this grant. I specifically excluded it from the grant because in order to include the electrical, we would have had to hire an architect to draw up plans for that, which would have cost more than the electrical itself. So we will hire our regular electrician and he will bring an electrical drop for us, and it will cost what it's usually not astronomical.
Are there projected upgrades that would be part of this package? I didn't remember reading anything about that, but is it something?
The software systems will be upgraded, but once we install the hardware will be there until we physically upgrade it ourselves.
Okay.
But the software that's included for the various systems will go through their normal upgrades.
Thank you.
I have, because I think the costs are well in line. And as Karen says, most libraries do have security systems and they have panic buttons and they have all of this. So this is like typical. But my concern is hardwired versus Wi-Fi. And just from the little bit of reading I did, it seems like hardwired systems are much more reliable and that Wi-Fi can be easily, what's the word? They can be disabled or they can be overcome or whatever. And you can do a hybrid as well. So I guess since I'm not an expert and I don't really know, and all I was checking was research on which system is better for either commercial or for private use. And they all seem to indicate that at least hardwiring your security system is preferable. And then you can enable it with a Wi-Fi connection if you want. But I don't know if anyone spoke to that. Do you know if Molly can like tell us if she asked that question or?
Our
Yeah.
security, yes, the security system and the intrusion system are hardwired. The security camera system is hardwired. I would never go with a Wi-Fi camera system. I just don't think it would be reliable.
Yeah, and all the companies we've talked to, whether they came through for us or not, all of them hardwire systems. That's what they
I
do.
wanted to clarify that because I wasn't sure, but
Yeah.
that's what I thought you said earlier. Okay.
There are Wi-Fi components to these systems that allow us access to them, but the meat and potatoes of the system are hardwired.
Sounds good. If there are any other questions or comments at this time, we'll entertain them. If not, I would recommend that we vote for all three resolutions in one motion. That's resolution 82, 83, and 84 for the entire system. If there are no objections, I'll entertain a motion to accept the three resolutions at once and a second. And we have a motion from Amanda, a second from Cecilia. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Are there any objections or abstentions? There being none, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you for the work.
Thank you.
It's a shame it took so long to get there. Now,
And thank you for
executive
your patience.
yeah, well, we didn't have much of a choice. But was there anything for exec at this time?
I don't have anything unless somebody else has something.
Anybody has any other questions or comments or concerns?
No.
I wanted to ask is how's our schedule coming with Michael and the insights, procedures and everything? I mean, when is our next meeting? And are we going to be following up with any diversity conversations at all?
So we're pretty well close to schedule. I think, Matt, I'm looking at you to correct me. I think we're about a week or two behind where he had originally had us, but we're in pretty good shape. Michael is going to be coming to the board meeting on the 22nd to give an update of where we are on everything, as well as share the documents that he's been putting together for us.
Yeah, we've largely focused on goals, overall goals, and we'll get into the details hopefully at the next meeting, which has been every Wednesday.
You know, I didn't get anything from Michael. After we had our last board meeting, he was going to send out his PowerPoint, his slides, and I didn't get them. So did he send those? Did I miss it somehow?
We'll
I did
double
search
check.
for him.
We can double check.
Can
and make
double
sure.
check on that. I don't remember, Lucinda, to be quite honest, so I'll follow
Well,
up.
I'll check again too, but if you could send those again, if he did send them.
Yeah.
I think he was gonna send them to you. So,
Yeah,
you know.
it's quite possible that he did and that I missed and that I dropped the ball. So I'll follow up with that.
You've got a lot to think about, a lot on your plate, but I'd love to have them before our meeting at the 22nd. So that's like 12 days. So we could, but anyway, I'm looking forward to another conversation with him.
Good.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay. Shandi, was there anything that you're muted at the moment, but was there anything you wanted to share?
No, nothing. Mm-mm.
Good. Well, hope everyone stays well. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. And a second,
Second.
we have a motion and a second, and all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Abstentions or objections, there being none, the motion carries 4-0. Everybody should stay well, and we'll get through this together, I'm sure. We'll look back and say, remember those days?
Mm.
Have a good
Yes.
evening, everyone.
You
All right.
too. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye.